when I say like my art is political in a certain way, is like it's Chicana because I'm the one who made it.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't have to be a certain thing to be considered that, you know, like.
Welcome to What's My Thesis. I'm Javier Proenza, and today my guest is Kristen Huizar. And today, did I get it right?
Yeah, you.
All right, cool. That's more Mexican than Cuban of a name, so I'm not that familiar with
Zacatecas, homie.
Zacatecas.
Yeah, that's where my family's from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where is that? North, south, east, west?
I honestly probably the northern part. I never been there.
Oh, really?
My family has gone back and forth before I was born, but they've kind of just been like, no, like don't go.
Why is that?
I guess it's just like really dangerous, like a lot of cartel shit or something. Because my grandpa's family is from Fresnillo, and that's kind of like a big city, but I don't know if I'd want to go by myself. Because one thing about me, I'm like third generation. My Spanish is terrible. So
but you
like,
speak it. I mean, that's...
I could kind of speak it, but like I went to TJ last year and I was like, I don't know shit. Like I'm listening to what people are saying and I'm just like, oh God, like I only got half of that. Like I can only imagine like spending more time in Mexico, and you know, I probably have a fucking like accent too when I speak. Like it's just...
But
I'll
you would pick it up. You would pick it up. Though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I've never been to Cuba, so I feel you.
Yeah.
Not like the patria that is famous.
Yeah.
Can you grab this and bring it a little closer now that you lean back?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Can you... All good?
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, well, you also come to me recommended by Edgar Martinez.
Shout out Edgar.
Shout out Edgar. I realized that the last time was Israel Campos, and we just said that somebody recommended and we didn't give the shout out. So shout out to him on that episode too. He's the homie that will not come on the podcast, but is happy to listen and support it. So I gotta give that love. So you were telling me you were from Commerce, like born and raised out here.
Yep.
Have you ever experienced outside of LA as a living situation? I mean,
no.
Have you visited other places?
I've visited other places. Like I love to travel. Like every year at some point I like to go somewhere, whether it's like New York or like another part of the state like Sequoia, Yosemite, or just like long drives. Like I've driven to Arkansas before. I've driven to Texas before.
How far is that? Damn.
It was like more than 27 hours in a car.
Wow.
But it was like great because I got to see like the country. It's different obviously from flying, but Texas after a while it's like
you're not feeling it?
No, not feeling it. Like I was like after 12 hours of just flat nothing, I'm just like, please let me see a mountain, please.
Yeah. No, that is as a Florida boy, I feel that.
Yeah,
it's very hard to get the vistas that you get out here in California, which is probably why they are always saying that they're gonna launch a movie industry. Miami always is like, oh, this, like, I think the latest one is tech is now going there.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that it's managed to become is like the OnlyFans capital of the world. Like that, but per capita there are more OnlyFans models, which I wonder what's doing to like the prices of stuff over there.
I mean, Florida's kind of freaky like that, so that's not really surprising.
No, well, I mean, I've been back and it's like you really do. Like this girl at the head shop that I bought a pipe from, she was like, yeah, it's so hot out here, you have to be naked. And I was like, is she flirting with me or she's just being Miami? And I think she was too young to be flirting with me.
I don't like that humid weather, dude. Do not fuck with that
brutal.
shit.
It's brutal. I love it because I'm a swamp boy, but like then I tell people that and they're like, what?
Yeah.
And they don't like, there's something that's lost in translation. Like, I'm a proud Florida man, but people are like, what? And I'm like, no, you don't get it.
You just don't get it.
You don't understand the craziness, the wilding out.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So then what? Tell me. I always start with art origin stories, like first memories, looking back, where you're like, you know what? It makes sense that I ended up here becoming an artist.
Yeah.
Take me from there through the whole education process to the point where you were finally like, because you can study it without.
Yeah.
Being like, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Like that moment that you finally like, oh, fuck, I'm an artist.
Well, it kind of took a while to get there, to be honest with you, because, well, art has always been a constant in my life. Like whether I was good at it or not, like technically skilled or not, it's always been there. Like I've always used it as a vessel of expression, to like all right, like I'm feeling some kind of way, let me draw it out. Like I'm doing like a diary of what's happening in my life, let me draw it out, even if it's not very good. But there was certain things that kind of like shifted my perspective throughout my life. So in high school, one of the teachers, they took me to Norton Simon Museum, and I got a deck of cards, and this deck of cards with a bunch of like Japanese like ukiyo-e prints. And I had in my mind, like I had no idea what the fuck a woodblock print was. I just looked at it, the image, and I thought it was a painting. And so from this deck of cards, like I would try observational drawing. So I would try to copy what I saw.
How old were you?
I must have been like 15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
Like this was like in ninth or 10th grade, where like I was like, oh wait, like, hey, I kind of know how to do this, you know, like, hey, I want to, you know, keep doing this. Like I want to keep drawing, or I want to pursue it in some way. I didn't know what that looked like kind of had hints in there, you know, here and there, but she took us to the brewery, which is not far from here. Like, so that kind of changed my life in a way of like, oh fuck, like I could do this, like, and I could just draw all the time and like have a studio, like this is possible, like I don't know. So, but then I graduated 2010, Montebello High School.
Montebello's cool. Yeah. I used to work out there at the Guitar Center.
You know, it was all right, but I couldn't. That mascot was so silly.
What was the mascot?
An oiler.
Oh, that's pretty. That's one of those things like California, where California overlaps with Texas.
It's just, yeah, it was
everybody's so green here. It's one of the bigger.
Like a guy in overalls, just like with little helmet, you know, like whatever. So I graduated in 2010 and I started going to ELAC, East Los Angeles Community College. But I was there for like a really long time. Like a really long time. Do you want to compete?
Let's see.
For like 10 years, dude.
Okay,
like, it was
you
ridiculous.
Beat me by 1 year.
Yeah, it was just...
Well, I wasn't at the community college for all that time. Some of it was getting my degree, but there came a point where when I was graduating where I was like, I felt trapped, because they were like, at one point they were like, no, you haven't done your summer semester. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm ready to graduate now. But yeah, no, yeah, I feel you. That long-term studying, it's the facilities, right?
Well, it's not. I mean, it was a lot of factors, because the facilities were kind of bunk, but ELAC did get a new like art building. So out of all the places I've been to, like community college, even Cal State Long Beach, like they've had the best art facilities there.
Really?
Yes. And so I went there for a really long time, like on and off, full time and part time. Just kind of like not really like thinking, one, I was ever going to be able to graduate or like go on to get a bachelor's degree. And
why is that? Why didn't you feel like that?
I just didn't think it was possible. I don't know what it was going on in my life that I was just like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this, you know?
So you were just taking classes at that point out of interest?
Yeah, I literally have like over 100 units of like taking just oh, wow, this sounds interesting, like anything but art. Like, because there was a point where I was just like, I don't think this is possible. Like, societal pressure kind of got on me in terms of like, what do you want to do art? Like,
no, that
what
makes sense.
kind of money are you going to make? And like, what are you going to do? Like that kind of deal. So I was just like, oh, fuck, like maybe I got to do something else. Like,
and what were those options?
I took everything under the sun. I took like creative writing classes. I took a lot of English classes. I took psychology classes.
Nothing in the more pragmatic sense, though. All humanities.
Yeah, all humanities.
Nothing like math, nothing like science.
That was another thing, too, is like I was stuck there for so long because I fucking failed math like 4 times. Oh, okay. Like, sorry, I'm like talking like a sailor, but like, you're allowed to. It's just like I failed that shit 4 times. So like it was just very frustrating. That was another reason why I was like, I'm never going to get out of here.
Yeah, okay. So like, the core, so you were enjoying the art stuff, but the other stuff was kind of hindering you. So if it had just been art stuff, you think you maybe would have had a better outlook?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would have been like, I don't need this class. Like I can just take all the art classes I want, you know?
So had you decided you were an artist at that point?
No, so there was just some years that went by, part-time classes. I took the first art class I ever took, I got a C in.
Yeah, you know, I got a D in my photography class in high school.
Yeah, like it was just art, like not good. So then I just kept going, and it wasn't until I think I started to make some headway in like the whole math thing, and I had all these units. I was just like, oh wait, like I think I kind of like this. Like, I'm not happy anywhere else.
Yeah.
And this is, like I said before, like, this has been the only constant in my life. So I might as well keep doing what makes me happy. I'm not going to waste my time somewhere else, like, or doing all these other classes. Like, I got hella units and I got like 3 AA degrees out of it, but you know, like, I didn't want to stay there much longer. So then once I passed the math class that I needed to, I had to go to like a different campus. I think I went to like SMC, like the Bundy campus, and that teacher was so graceful to me because I don't know how I passed, but I got a C, and I was just like, let's fucking go.
That was
like,
a math class?
Yeah, it was I think it was like college algebra or something like that. And then I had to take one more class, and I was just like, oh my God, like, it's there. Like, it's like, I could feel it, you know, like getting my bachelor's degree. So the art professor at ELAC, Jim Uyakawa, the GOAT, I recommend taking him if you go to ELAC. He's the one that really encouraged for me to go to Cal State Long Beach because he had said that there's a really great art program there. It's pretty,
fucking solid.
Yeah, like it's pretty cost effective. Like, so I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna apply to other places, but I hope I get into Long Beach.
Yeah.
So then I got waitlisted, and I was just like, oh my God, like it was killing me because I was just like, this is a school that I want to go to. Like, I got accepted to Cal State LA, but I just really was set on going to Cal State Long Beach.
I've heard better I mean, I've met more people that are doing well in the art world. I don't know anyone that went to Cal State LA.
Yeah, I don't really know
in the
like,
art world at all.
What the program is like, or I
that's
haven't
not
really
to say
heard anything.
That's not to say anything negative about it. I just haven't crossed paths with it.
If anything, that means potential.
Yeah.
You know, that someone could, you know, make a wave, you know, in the department, and maybe
I'm sure, or it could just mean that I've just never met anyone that went there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like that's how it happens. Like if you meet someone from like Cal State Long Beach, like that's how I know so many people from there because I interviewed one. They introduced me to other people. They all knew each other. You know, and like for me, it benefits me to have people on that. That past guests have had it because there's overlap there. That means that the audience is gonna. So I'm just that's more of a logistical thing, but I do have high praise for Cal State Long Beach. I mean, it seems like a good recommendation from your professor. Yeah,
and then like it's a huge community too. Yeah. Like all when I transferred to Cal State Long Beach, it was like Zoom University. Yeah, so like sucks. It was whack because I wasn't able to like really meet anybody. Like everyone, once class is over, like everyone hangs up, they leave the Zoom. They don't they don't stick around to talk to people.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of like, man, like this is fucking whack. Like I just paid like $3,000 for Zoom University. I don't get any of the amenities or whatever. Like I just gave all my money to this fucking university for what, you know?
But then it was $3,000 a semester.
Yeah, it was like around that, and that was the only semester. That was the only semester I paid though. The rest of it I got FAFSA, which is like really great. But I'm still pissed that they made me pay that for that. Like,
yeah, no, that Zoom. I would like. I if I had gotten in during COVID, I would have not gone.
Yeah, but I was so like, no, I already made it. Like I've already like struggled this much of like trying to make this happen. Like I'm just gonna. No, I get it. You know?
I get it.
And then it went into like in person. I want to say like 2021 or 2022 around that time. And then that's when I really started to like, you know, integrate myself into the community, like meet a bunch of people, made really good friends there.
And it seems like the alumni stay in touch with like the current class, like, or there's overlap, like it's like, oh, you went there and then, oh, you know this person, this teacher that gives you common ground, so then you have something to talk about. Like it seems like the community isn't just like within the class.
I mean that's why I kind of never left either. So once I realized, okay, like I could do this, like I can get my bachelor's, this thing that I've worked for a long time. That's what really, to answer your question from before, that's what really opened up the door for me of like, I could fucking do this. Yeah. Like if I maintain a studio practice and like just keep making the things that I want to make, then it's possible. And then that's what ended up happening. I was kind of like studio surfing for a year after I graduated. And then eventually I ended up at Munzon, and I've been there ever since. And I'm like super grateful. But the places that I was at before was because either I had met somebody before who was also an artist, or somebody else from like Long Beach. Like I was in the Ice House for a little bit. sharing a studio with my friend Luis and his girlfriend Emily, like paying like a little bit of money just to get a wall so I could just work there. And then I was like, fuck, I really wish I could stay in Long Beach. Like I don't have the monies to move out right now, but the compromise to myself is to have a studio, because at least I have somewhere else to go to where I could work, just, be myself and whatever, like just workshop a bunch of ideas.
And that's Munzon now?
And that's at Munzon.
How many studios do they have there? That's Munzon Gallery for people that don't know. Run by Elizabeth Munzon and Edgar.
Yeah. Yeah, power couple, man.
Edgar Martinez,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's 4 studios there plus the print shop or the print press. So yeah, it's pretty spacious there. I share with another person. His name's Jaime. He does a lot of like media stuff, like you, has a lot of camera gear and all that. Everybody's like really cool people. It's super friendly there. Like that was one thing that I think I was missing once I graduated too, is like a community to stay tapped into, like to bounce ideas off of, to get encouraged to do things, like because everywhere else I had been before, like I wasn't really connected to the people there apart from Ice House, because then I had already known them from school. So
where's Ice House?
Ice House is like right off of, like when you get off the 710 off Anaheim.
Okay.
It's off of, I don't know if it's Daisy Street or something. It's this huge complex, and it's a bunch of like art studios and also like other businesses. I don't know what. But yeah, a lot of Cal State Long Beach alumni are there as well. So that's why I'm saying like it's a whole community, and that's why I wanted to go back, because I was like, I love this community. I miss this community once I was away from it. And yeah, to maintain my studio practice, like it really does make a difference to have a place to not only store your work, of course, but to just have a separate space entirely to just work on whatever it is you wanted to work on. I mean, like I was a very stubborn student, because I had been in Cal State, at ELAC for so long that I was like, all right, I don't want to do these fucking assignments anymore. Like I want to do what I want to do. Like, And so like somehow like they would ask me to do something for an assignment, and I was just like, all right, what's something that I've been working on that it kind of fits this theme, like maybe it was for better or worse, but like I was just like, I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
I get it though. No, because like at a certain point I started hating to do that drawing assignment where you have to like do the different shadings, like different blocks and shadings. So I got a whole piece of paper, and I went from the darkest pencil I could to the lightest, and I just made one gradient, and I would show teachers that, and I was like, I don't need to do this. But yeah, no, I get that. And I think that that's sort of the problem with staying in community college for too long, which is what I experienced as well. It's like at a certain point, all the theory classes come in at the BFA level, like going past your AA, like all of the independent study and all of that kind of stuff, and like the studio practice things. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you told me off air, but you paint, you print, you do a bunch of different stuff.
My main thing is drawing with wax pastels. Like I love drawing because they have the crayon like texture. I usually treat like clear plastic vinyl with gesso and draw on top of there because I like the texture that it makes.
Why clear?
I don't know. I just like the idea of it being transparent.
But then
depending on
so you do
with clear gesso.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so like depending on what color I put in the background or what the background is, so say I put on the black couch or like the white wall, it'll change the colors of the image. So which I kind of like.
Yeah.
So the main thing is wax pastels. I love drawing. Like that's my number one thing. I'm always drawing, whether it's the wax pastels, graphite. I really like hand stitching too. Like I don't know if it's just me, like I'm just like mentally illy and fucking love obsessive like repetitive movements, but I just love right? I just like to go to town, like the same thing, and I like how I could take it anywhere, right? Like I said, I do like having the studio, but there's something about hand stitching that it's easily transportable, so it kind of like has its own story to it too, the more you take it just around wherever. And then like printmaking, I want to do another big lino like the last one that I did.
Yeah, we this is all off-air conversation that we had. Yeah, so you just did a big print, a lino cut. How big was it?
It was 30 by 30 inches.
30 by 30. And that was like, I saw it all over Edgar's Instagram. And then that's how, was I following you? No, I think I wasn't following you yet. Yeah. And then, and that's how I became aware of you. It's massive. It 30 by 30. I mean, that's not even 30 by 30, the thing behind you.
Yeah.
That's 24 by 30. So
yeah. It was really, I think it kind of went, it was a lot similar to why I like the hand stitching, because it was a lot of just like, all right, the image is already there. All I need to do is carve. And it's a lot of repetitive movement too. So there was just something about it that was like kind of therapeutic in a way. Like I went to the studio, I already knew what I had to do and just carving away.
Dude, you're describing exactly where I'm at right now with this work that I'm doing. Because this stuff that right next to me, like there's too many decisions to make during the process of making it, and I was getting burnt out, and like it slowed down the entire process. So then that's when I started to make the repetitive patterns, just like the idea of just like showing up and just doing it, and then you still have that satisfying, because there's the decisions are already pre-made. I like that kind of process. Sometimes I do like making decisions as part of the process, but sometimes it's just nice to like burn through shit. You just become much more productive.
Yeah, that's what it felt like with the print, because like I said, I would just go to the studio and then be there for a couple hours and just carve away. The same thing with the hand stitching. Like most of the time I transfer like my drawing onto there. Like the graphite will kind of stay on there, but it's the same thing. I just need to follow like the drawing that I already made. Drawing is the only thing where it's like, all right, I got to be active in the decision making. Like if I make a mistake, how do I adapt to it? I'm not going to trash the whole thing. I got to figure out, all right, like what am I going to do to alter the image to make it come out the way I want? So I guess I get different things from different mediums. Painting, on the other hand, like I like doing it, but after a while it's like, it seems tedious. Like I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
It's much less immediate than drawing.
Exactly.
And I'm totally 100% with you on that. Like once I get excited when it's hand drawn, and then I'm like, okay, I should paint this. I'm like, fuck, now I'm making something.
Dude,
instead of drawing.
I don't know. There's just something about drawing, because it's like you hold the pigment right directly in your hand and you layer it, especially with the pastels. Whereas color, like I don't know, maybe that was a product of me being stubborn in school and not wanting to fucking like color mix all the time, because like it just seems tedious to me, which is why I avoided like doing a lot of projects too, like because I was in the drawing and painting program. I didn't really paint. I just did a lot of drawings and like hand stitching. I don't know how the fuck I got away with it.
Pastels, wax pastels, I think you could probably categorize. I think that there was an archaic way of thinking when I was in school. I don't know if it's still the case, but that like drawing is technically black and white, and color is like, once you start adding color, but then you talk to painters and they're like, that's so graphic, that's not really painting. Like painters don't call what I do painting, and I'm like, okay, you can call it drawing, I don't care. It doesn't bother me, but it's just funny, like those little defining lines, because for a long time I worked almost exclusively in black and white, because I was just, I can't, like that's how much I love drawing. I used to draw plein air with pens. I'm probably shit now, but
I love doing that.
But like just drawing, and then getting all of that, like, and then if the drawing takes too long, I lose interest too.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't think about that.
No, I mean like when it's like, I like the immediate, when in terms of plein air. Like obviously that's not done in one sitting, right? Like, but the immediate, like if I'm drawing a portrait and something, or like in class, like I hated when we had to go back to a drawing. Like that kind of thing is like, you're not going to get the exact same pose and that kind of shit.
No, I found it way more challenging to do skin tones with painting. I don't know why. And I always found some way to like circumvent, which, it kind of bit me in the ass in the end, because now it's more like, all right, I got to like figure out the right way. I should have done it in school, but I'm telling you, I was so over it at that point where I was just like, I just want to do things the way I want to do it. And, for better or for worse. But I do like drawing with pen. Like, that's what I like to do. Like, apart from stitching, is like walking around the city, committing to like some view and doing it with pen because it's a record of all of your movements.
Yeah.
And like I said, you have to adapt to it.
You have to think ahead.
Yeah, you make a mistake. All right, just keep going. The show goes on. You got to just keep drawing it. And there's something about it archiving your movement, but also archiving a certain perspective in LA, right? Like LA is always constantly changing. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be able to see a certain view again of like a
and if it'll still be there.
Yeah, if it'll still be there. So whenever I go out walking and drawing, like I think of it as that, like a practice, of course, like drawing with pen, but also archiving a certain point in time in LA too, because I mean, like I said, I was born and raised here, so I've seen the city change like a lot in my whole lifetime. Like it's kind of like sad, like some of the places that are gone, or just like there's parking lots and places where I was able to see like a whole like, you know, downtown LA landscape or something. Like it's just yeah, and I guess maybe that's part of it, is like me trying to capture this fleeting feeling, this fleeting aspect of living here in the city of like, all right, I gotta, you know, mark this history and time, because I'll write everything, like the time, the day, the street I was on, like what direction I was looking at, so that I can remember, like not only for myself, but you know, later down the line, like I look back and I'm like, oh shit, that's not the same anymore, like this place is gone, you know, like I don't know. So it's an effort to capture that.
I think that makes it technically reportage instead of plein air, because you're doing it from a different perspective. Someone taught me that term recently. I don't know it well enough to tell you what it means.
Oh, but I was like, what is that?
Reportage, I think, you know, plein air, they're both French terms, but I think that one is like more associated with the Impressionists, like plein air would be that. And then reportage, I think, is more technical. It's more like like it's more documentary style.
Yeah.
So I think that, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it's still plein air, but it seems like you're taking it further than just like, oh, this is like, oh, I'm painting outside. You're like, I'm documenting outside.
Yeah, it's important because they're just there's like certain things that I wanted to draw that aren't there anymore. Yeah. And that makes me sad too, because I'm just like, I miss this opportunity to capture this in real life, and I'll never be able to like recreate that. You know, I can look at a picture, but it's not the same, you know? So I guess that's where it comes from. More recently, like I've always kind of like tried to draw where I'm at, but I've done it more intentionally like lately as well.
And you've never been a photographer, never taken pictures?
No, man. I have like a little point and shoot, but that's it. Yeah.
You also have a cell phone.
No, I have like 80,000 pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
Like I've taken like a ridiculous amount of pictures. Like I wouldn't say like photographer, but you know, but like they're for reference too.
Well, no, it's, I mean, the documenting part of it would put you in, like, if you were a photographer, that would put you in the tradition of like Lee Freelander and a lot of, there's like two categories. There's like artists using photography that like are using it outside of its like parameters, you know, and then there are people that use it for documenting stuff, like documentary style photography. And it's just interesting when an artist takes that mindset but hasn't ever played with photography.
I don't know, honestly, like I bought a Olympus X-A2 on eBay, and it's a little camera that I carry around with me everywhere, and sometimes like I'll take pictures, but... Is it
digital?
No, like I said, it's just a point and shoot, it's analog, like with film and stuff, so I don't really take it seriously, you know? Like I'm just like, this looks kind of interesting. I think what it is too is like I like to capture little moments. Like that's why I like walking around the city so much, because... You know, LA is very car centric. A lot of people spend a lot of time in their car. And because of this, we miss a lot of intimate moments that happen in the neighborhood, or just don't even get to really know a neighborhood because we're just driving in the freeways the whole time, you know? So I think it's important to capture that. And a lot of my work kind of centers around that too. Like these little moments, these little mundane or like often overlooked moments. Like I feel like it's important to capture that too. Like not everything has to be super grandiose and dramatic, or like, you know, like just really like trying to be super political and like in an outward face, like surface level way. Like sometimes things can be political just by existing. Yeah,
just by what you're choosing to focus on.
Yeah.
Do you is that a general stance on for you with in terms of politics in your work? Because I'm pretty politically like upset most of the time.
Yeah.
That's just such a funny way to frame it.
Yeah.
But like I'm just a malcontent when it comes to politics right now. Nobody makes me happy. But I just kind of avoid that in the work, you know, like that. And that's kind of also, I mean, that's always sort of been the thing because of my background, and it's also kind of feels weird to you know, like I have a very specific, like I think my being middle class limits how much, growing up middle class limits how much you can be outraged at society in an artistic, expressive way, right? Like Cubans, we got up until recently pretty much straight up access to the country, right? Like asylum seekers got it. It used to be they could get it from like we could pull you from the ocean, and if we got you from the ocean, and then Obama made wet foot dry foot. So like a lot of the things that for my community would be relevant, I've like not been in Miami for so long. I didn't grow up there until I was 12. So for me, all of that politics that are like identity-based politics, I think are so detached from me. Like my identity isn't that, you know? And so that I fall into the category of artists that feel like I don't want to be pigeonholed, especially within the Cuban diaspora, because like it's so far removed from my experience, right? So I feel like that's kind of why I'm not interested in expressing that. Like I guess the best way to say it is I can verbalize what I want to say about politics. And what I want to say in art is not necessarily something I can verbalize.
No, I'm the same way. I'm very opinionated. And I'm very like,
I can feel
I'm not gonna like sugarcoat how I feel about certain things. But my art is a different story because for me, especially like I don't even know what to call myself most of the time. Like I don't know if I'm Chicana, I don't know if I'm brown, like Mexican American. Like identity has always been like a weird subject for me because I mentioned, I don't know if it was earlier or off podcast, but you know, I'm third generation, like so I'm kind of like detached or removed from my lineage in a lot of ways, but like growing up, most of my friends were like first generation. Or like they spoke Spanish in the home.
But I will give you credit. I mean, the fact that you speak any Spanish, because I knew Cubans that were third generation, well, second generation, that didn't speak any Spanish at all. And for me, that was mind blowing because that's just Miami. Everybody speaks Spanish. Like white people speak Spanish. You know?
I mean, it's like that here. I mean, I only know really Spanish because of my friends and because my grandfather speaks Spanish, and I understand more than I speak.
I'll tell you this, though. It's not like here. Because out here, you can be a white person and never come across people that speak Spanish. And like completely, you know, like you could live on the west side over here. Like the entire city and entirety of South Florida, you kind of have to get to West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale to really escape how much Spanish there is. Like I've lost the accent, but there's a very specific Miami accent that is Miami. And as more people are coming, like Venezuelans and less Cubans are, like Cubans no longer dominate that diaspora community as much as they used to. Even they are picking up like Miami has its accent, you know? And so LA kind of, you guys, we used to say that Mexicans spoke with un canto. Do you guys say that? That was like a Cuban thing.
I don't know. I never heard anyone say that.
Like you speak Spanish like with the rhythm, but I don't know if that's like
it depends because like I can tell maybe because it's like the people I've been around, but I could tell the difference between someone who is speaking with a Mexican like Spanish accent and someone who is from like Chile or someone from El Salvador. Like I could tell the difference in the way that they're pronouncing certain words. And
just the words they use.
Yeah, and the words too. Like I was talking about this yesterday at a party of like we were kind of tripping out and why I said like when I went to TJ, I was like, I have no fucking clue what the fuck Spanish is. Like the way these people are talking, like I don't know half the things that they're saying, which I think is like really cool, honestly. Like the way that one language just changes so dramatically depending on the geographical region. Even LA has its own like slang terms or Spanglish terms that not everywhere else like uses either, you know, which I also find interesting as well. But
yeah.
Anyways, going back to the original question was like, I never know what to really call myself identity wise. I guess Chicana, because I am Mexican American. You know, I still know a little bit of Spanish. Like, I'm obviously like not white, you know, and I'm very proud of that fact. But when it comes to art, like for me, I also don't want to be pigeonholed.
Yeah.
You know, Chicana is so many more things than whatever it is like people are showing right now. Like maybe certain things are specific to someone's experience, right? Like lowriders or like pachuco or certain
What's
kind
pachuco?
of pachuco is like
I love the word.
It's like in like the 40s a certain style that a lot of Mexican, so like zoot suit and stuff, stuff like that. So like, or even like cholito stuff, like I've always seen it, but that's never really been my experience. And why would I paint about something that I never lived in, you know, or I never lived through? So when I say like my art is political in a certain way, is like it's Chicana because I'm the one who made it. And because it doesn't have to, because of the content, and because it doesn't have to be a certain thing to be considered that, you know, like Chicana. I mean, I had a similar conversation with one of my friends too. Like people are giving her shit about being Guatemalan, living in the city versus living like in the rural areas, and I was like, fool, your art is Guatemalan because you're making it, because you yourself are Guatemalan, you know, like. And I feel it's the same way with like Chicano art, right? Like it doesn't have to be the same things,
especially because it's having
time.
A moment right now too.
Yeah,
you know, like I mean, not that it hasn't, you know, there was Asco and all of that, but I think that now it's kind of reached a breaking point where Asco felt like it was a little bit more of a statement of like, we're here, guys.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like commercially viable. Like there are a lot of commercially viable Mexican American artists, and just like Central American artists in general. Or North
I mean, I like Osco too, because for me they're like the original like indie Latinos. You know? Like, because that's kind of how I felt growing up. Like I was listening to like indie sleaze ass music in high school, and there wasn't really a lot of us, or maybe I just didn't get to know, you know, the other indie Latinx at my school. But
but it's a different context now. Like I think you can't be punk Latino, like you can't be that like disruptive, you know what I mean? Like it's been mainstreamized in a market sense, like where there's demand for that, like or maybe you have pushback on this idea, but I feel like up until 2020 there really wasn't a lot of Latino artists getting that level of play, the same level of play that they are now. Like for example, look at Jacqueline Valenzuela. You mentioned Little Writers, and I'm guessing you know her because you're Long Beach. Like I had her on, and she was like, "Yeah, man, I'm like of a new generation of people that get these opportunities that haven't existed, you know." And it's almost like it adds responsibility to it. Yeah,
she's fucking killing it. She's one of the most like hardworking, like amazing artists I know. Like, and I think, we are having a moment right now. And honestly, I think it's about fucking time, too. Especially given in LA, how much we have contributed to, you know, the culture, society here, like the history here. And also given the fact that they don't even want us to fucking exist. They want us to, like, mute our identity, or at least, like, not exist in public, targeting, like, you know, my peoples, or targeting people who are just coming here, like not just Mexicanos, but like Central Americans, Southern Americans as well. Like it's just like, it makes it more important to me, honestly. Like it makes it more important that I'm glad we're having a moment, because it's like this fear shit is not gonna work. Like they could be as vile and evil as they want, but we're still gonna be here. We're still gonna be existing. Like we're fucking everywhere, dude. You can't get rid of us.
In this city, no. Yeah. And that's why it drives me crazy when I hear people talk about how fake people are in LA. And I'm like I think, like, one of the groups of people that, you know, like, fakeness, the difference between being fake and, like, you know, having no integrity, having no, you know, morals, having just, like, being a ruthless careerist, right? Like that's kind of the way that people talk about LA, but like that's like the white part. Dude, like literally the thing that encapsulates this perfectly for me is one time I went to this restaurant, I won't say where, but it was you can say it.
It was in Silver Lake, and me and my friend went, and this girl was at the door, and she was like, "Hi, welcome to the so and so," and she's like, "Where are you guys coming from?" And we're like, "Well, we're coming from East LA," and mind you, this is Silver Lake, and she was like, "I thought this was East LA," and I'm just like, "Girl, you." In my mind, I'm thinking like, "Girl, did you just get here yesterday? On what planet is this East LA? This is Silver Lake, like maybe northeast LA if you're stretching it, but even then I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, what bubble do these people live in? They've never been to Montebello. Clearly, dude, nobody even knows what the fuck Commerce is. Yeah. Like, I've had somebody ask me, like, like, they're like, do people live there? I'm like, yes. Yeah. We live there, like, it's not just the Citadel. Like,
I mean, I knew the name Commerce, but I just didn't know where it was.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like a really tiny town, you blink and you miss it kind of deal. Like, but yeah, dude, so I was just like, I can't believe like this exists. Like, people don't have a idea of like how huge LA is and all the different like cities that are within it outside of like their own little bubble kind of deal. Like, that kind of blew my mind.
Well, I mean, you were outraged just now, but when I was living in Culver City, people on the west side used to think anything past the 405 was East LA.
That's insane. That's like, what? Yeah. I mean, I used to live in Palms too for a while, and I really liked it out there, like everything was very walking distance. Like, never in my life had I lived close to a Sprouts and a Trader Joe's that I could get to within like 5 minutes. Like, that was insane to me. I loved it out there, and hey, our peoples are out there too. Like,
no, they definitely are. Yeah. But it's like, it's just so funny. It's just so funny, that bubble, people who move to LA, and that happened in Miami all the time. Like, there were people that would come to Miami, they would live on South Beach, they would work, service jobs like waiting tables and stuff like that. They would party, do coke all night, sleep 3 hours, and start all over again.
Yeah, that's
like, and then they would just leave. They would do it until they got burnt out and then just left. And that's where all those properties were like inaccessible to most people. And I'm sure it's only gotten worse with all the
at Palms, like when I lived there, I was lucky enough to be able to have like rent control. But whenever someone would move out of the apartment complex, they would just jack up the price. And then there was just a bunch of those like ugly ass box apartments that would be popping up. And I remember thinking, like, who the fuck could live here? What job do they have to be able to afford to live here? Like, that kind of blew my mind. And they were never full either. Like, it was just kind of sparingly. There was people there. But that also tripped me out about living in Palms, was just, like, the amount of times, like, these things would be sprouting up. Like, all this luxury stuff that's very, like, in walking distance. Because when I moved back to Commerce, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, it was kind of reality check again of, like, oh, yeah, that's right. I live in a food desert. That's right. Like, I'm fucking by Pollution Central because I'm right by the 5 and the 710. And there's train yards, like, the trucks coming from, like, San Pedro and stuff go through there to, like, drop off whatever it is. No, man, that shit's kind of like, oh god. So I've kind of had to grow up and I guess finding these beautiful moments, right? These small beautiful moments, because I'm just like, outside is ugly as hell. Like, this is industrial hellhole. Like, no. But it's given me, being there again has given me a new appreciation of where
So you're in Commerce again now?
I'm in Commerce again now. Yeah, I've kind of lived all over LA, which is probably why I love the city so much.
Which is your favorite part? Where did you enjoy living the most?
Oh man, well, I really love living in City Terrace.
City Terrace, where's that?
That's like by Cal State LA. Okay, so it's kind of still in the East LA area. But maybe it was like more so associated with the time too, because I was in ELAC. I didn't have a car then, so I was just bike riding everywhere, taking the bus everywhere.
Riding bike in this town, people like, Miami is easier because it's all flat. That's where the hills become. Oh yeah, dude, living on that Eastern Hill, because Eastern is the street that runs through, is huge. It goes up through Cal State Long Beach, and sometimes I gave up. Like, I was just like, I'm just gonna walk the whole way. But then there was times where I'm like, no, I really want to go home. Like, it'd be like 1 a.m. and I'm like, oh god, like, I just need to ride this fucking hill. I'm like all out of breath, but I never regretted it because it always felt good every time. Like,
I reached the peak, like, oh, I did it.
Did you have gears, or was this on a fixed gear bike?
No, it had gears.
Okay,
I had gears.
Jesus.
Yeah. But it was good times. And then like the 70, the bus like that ran like around there would run like 24/7. So I'd always have a way to get home. I was right in between, like very close to downtown LA on one side, on the other side, very close to Monterey Park, like Alhambra.
Yeah.
So it was just like this really good like central area for me to get around. Like I said, I don't have a car, so like having the bike really helped too. Like, but I really like living in Palms too. Like I'm not gonna lie, I miss it there. Like I love East LA, but if I had the opportunity and the funds to like live there in Palms again, I probably would, because
the temperature is much cooler.
Oh my God, the beautiful weather, like all year round. Like I didn't really have to suffer the heat like that much, you know. Like it was.
But
good.
the white girl quotient goes up the more you go west.
Yeah,
like to the point where like you're like, oh, and having lived in this part of town for so long, like it's shocking, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and like I don't know, I feel like it's like, do you remember, did you ever read The Time Machine?
No,
there's the Eli and the Morlocks or something like that. There's the underground people, and then there's the people that are beautiful and live overground. And like I feel like when you go to the West Side, some people just seem so unbothered.
Yeah.
And then when you walk around here, you're like, you feel like people's burdens, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the West Side was the first time like where I'd be walking like my dogs and someone would cross the street to like avoid talking to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that never
Wow.
really happened before. Like that
Wow.
doesn't happen. That didn't happen in West Adams. That didn't happen in Lenox where I used to live. Like that didn't happen in Commerce or City Terrace. Like it was just kind of, I don't know, it was kind of a trip. And it was like the only time too that someone was like blatantly racist to me too. Like
Wow.
that shit did not happen like, you know, over here, because most people, it's like, it's all Latinos most of the time, right? Or like everyone's just kind of like coexisting, whereas like over there some fool told me some shit and I don't know, I should have been scared, but I was just like, man, fuck you, what the fuck? Like, because he was telling me some weird shit, like, because I had got off the train and I was riding my bike and this guy was like on a skateboard and he was just like, you know, it's illegal to be looking at white people like that or something. Like it was really weird. And I was like, man, fuck you, dude. Like straight up, I just like, and then I was like riding my bike really fast home because I was like, okay, I don't know if this guy is gonna like chase me or something, but but it felt good to be like, no, this person could not get away with telling me whatever like crazy shit was going on in his mind. But that was the only time really that like it was on that side of town. So I don't know, there's things that I miss about it, but certain things I don't miss about it.
No, I believe you. I mean, there's people that have never, I think that there's people that have no interest in respecting that LA is not a white town.
Yeah.
You know? And like, as much as you can function as if it is, the reality is that it's not.
Yeah.
You know, the reality, and it's almost a constant political battle for ground here.
Yeah.
With gentrification and stuff like that. So it's a really, really crazy thing. You've been talking about, you mentioned, I wanted to say this earlier, I had never seen They Live, the John Carpenter movie.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd never seen it. I've been wanting to see it. It's never available for streaming, so I finally rented it and I watched it. Obviously, it's great. The reason I bring it up is the skyline.
Yeah.
In that fucking movie is nothing. There is no buildings. It is devoid of buildings. It's like 1, 2, 3. It looks like Culver City's downtown.
Yeah.
Or as opposed to like what it is now. And then the other thing that's fucked up about that movie is the one thing that hasn't changed is that there is a huge raid on an encampment, on a homeless encampment.
Dude.
in that thing. They bring out, and it's the same fucking shit. Like they've maybe they're not coming in with bulldozers anymore, but it's like, it's crazy how much the city has changed, but also how little it's changed. You know, and that, like, I watched that, like it was almost like the movie, you know, the movie has its subtext, but then having watched it at this age, this far along, and with this much life experience, I'm like, oh, this movie has depth to it that it didn't even know that it has because of it, you know?
Yeah.
And I also love the 3-hour fight scene between
Dude, that's just so fucking funny.
It's like, okay, they hired a wrestler, so they have to do a 4-hour fight scene.
Yeah. I kind of want to rewatch it now. It's been a while.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's so different than what I thought it was. And that's all the I never grew up watching John Carpenter movies. So I watch the next one on my list is Escape from New York. But I watched The Thing. I watched all of these things that
The Thing is classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's great. And man, young fucking Kurt Russell.
Yeah, dude.
Like
looking
the fucking
so good. Yeah.
The charisma. It's like that dude is just like, it reminds me that I think he's literally the reason that it was okay. Overboard was okay because he's so charismatic.
Yeah, dude. I need to watch that because I have seen like the beginning of Escape from New York, but I've never finished. Like I know the premise of it, but I haven't seen it. But good LA movie that I want to shout out. I want to say 2 weeks ago at Brain Dead, The Exiles.
The Exiles.
That is a time capsule of LA. When I talk about LA changing, becoming something that's unrecognizable, that is the movie because it's basically a time capsule of Bunker Hill before the buildings were there. Because before Bunker Hill, there was a lot of Victorian homes and it was kind of like a happening neighborhood for a while, like in the early days of LA. And I don't know what exactly shifted, but they started just letting these buildings go. Like they weren't maintaining them. They were kind of like decrepit in a way. They were like losing a lot of their, I don't know, like how they looked like before. But then also like this was a working class neighborhood. It was like a really large population of indigenous people, not only from like Native Americans, but also from Mexico and from other countries as well. And so The Exiles is kind of like this, it's not a actual documentary, but it's almost like a day in the life of these three characters who are part of these communities, and they're non-actors. So it's very like realistic in the way that they're portrayed and the way that they talk. But the opening scene is like one of the most beautiful scenes because it's just a montage of all these old Victorian buildings that were in Bunker Hill before. It shows the original location of Angel's Flight. Like the location Angel's Flight is now is not the original location. It shows Grand Central Market the way that it was before, which was an actual fucking market. Like
not just a bunch of like happening restaurants.
I still have trouble going in there because I'm just like, it's such an empty shell of what it used to be. Like it's just like a tourist trap. It's not like I don't even know. No, no, I can't. That shit's too expensive too. I'm just like, okay, like who is this market for? You know,
that is the funny LA. That's that egg slut, that kind of aesthetic. You know, like just the name egg slut.
I can't stand that shit.
It's like it's hipster. It's that hipster fucking thing that like even I don't want to put a timestamp on this because this will come out like 6 or maybe 4 weeks from now. But the Cracker Barrel rebrand, forget the politics of it. They're just making it sterile, you know, and it's like this homogenous. It looks like a McDonald's, you know, like it looks like the new, like all the McDonald's used to be this. Now they're all this like QB kind of like it or it looks like a Starbucks. It's just this like you have these two aesthetics in LA. You have that kind of like that kind of corporate like bohemian but very buttoned down kind of thing, and then you have the like have you ever been, do you know this neighborhood? Have you been to the Heights Deli and Bottle Shop?
Oh, no,
okay.
Man.
That place is super hipster. B24 is super hipster. It's all this like, it's fake LA. It's like what people that aren't from LA think LA is like, you know. That's why they come here and they're like, LA's so fake. But like you go to fucking taqueria, you know, and it's a different vibe. And that is not just exclusive to LA. I think that movement, you know, like that there was a while that a lot of like gastropubs were in industrial buildings.
Yeah,
you know, those fucking trends I hate, you know, and then they'll have this really like industrial look and they'll charge you way too much money, you know. And then you go to a place like Bestia. Bestia's pretty good. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't.
Okay, like not to shout out fine dining in LA, but I think that there are some places that are like high end that like it's just good Italian food. Like I sat by the salad station and they were putting on each leaf. It just the right amount. Like they were squeegeing on individually onto each leaf the Caesar salad dressing and just stacking the thing. And it was like so deliberate, right? So there's cool stuff like that. Like I think that becomes a different category of LA, you know, hipster. Like that's like high end stuff, but the food is actually pretty good and the experience is pretty nice. So it becomes something different. I think they have like the same people that have Bestia have another place that's like Mediterranean that has like a really beautiful dining.
Where's Bestia at?
Bestia is on 4. It's like I don't know how to tell you, but it's like it's design districty.
Oh, okay.
It's that area. It's like 4th Street, I think it's 4th. But anyway, it's you have to get reservations. That's like you can't just show up.
Yeah.
You know, that's like where the actors eat.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's like, you know, you 2 people you end up paying like 100 and something.
Damn.
But I think that like, if you can afford to live that life, of course you're going to have a different experience of LA, right?
Yeah.
If like all you're doing is eating there, you're going to the Dresden, you know, and eating dinner there, and like all these places that are like those, like I think the Dresden is fine dining, but it feels old LA. It's not hipster LA. Have you ever been there?
No, man, I'm too poor for all that shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't really. There's certain places that I'll go to like spend like, you know, a good amount of money occasionally.
Yeah.
But I don't really like, I think I'm just too much of a, let me walk around and see what I find.
Yeah.
Or like somebody else has a suggestion and I'll go with them. But I don't really like that. That is a whole different world to me, honestly.
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
It just feels like a whole different world, which is why I bring up the Exiles too, right? Like most people don't know that about Bunker Hill. They don't know that all these people were displaced and now it's a bunch of fucking like buildings and shit, because they did the same thing to Dodger Stadium too, right?
Buried under the blue.
This was right around the same time. Those homes still exist somewhere in LA. I don't know where. I don't know if it's like in Lincoln Heights or something, that some of those Victorian homes from Bunker Hill, but
they moved them?
Yes, they moved some of them. But I found out about the Exiles through another movie called Los Angeles Plays Itself.
Yeah.
And that is kind of like what you're talking about, of like this idea of LA, how other people see it and how other people try to like make it to what they think it is when it's really not, and how the idea of LA kind of gets distorted a lot, like through these layers of representation, whether through storefronts, like you're saying, or the way the movies portray LA, right? Like most of the time in movies, I don't really see the LA that I see.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't exist when the Exiles, you know, came out, but I see some of myself in it, you know, like it's stuff like that like I love, but it's also like goes back to what I was saying earlier of like preserving things, archiving things. Like that movie is so beautiful to me, not only because of the people within it, but because it's a time capsule of a neighborhood that isn't anymore, you know, like we'll never get that back. And it's kind of sad in a way, right? Like I'll never be able to see the views of the alleyways of all these like houses, or looking up the long staircase next to Angel's Flight, like along these Victorian homes. Like, yeah, I mourn the loss of something that existed before I even did. Yeah. And I think it's important to preserve things like that as well. But also I fucking love movies too. So like, it was like really beautiful to see on the big screen.
What's your favorite LA movie?
My favorite LA movie?
What about LA Story?
I don't... Honestly, it probably is the Exiles, because that's the only one I can watch like a million times and like
feel something.
You know, like that's why I was compelled enough to go see it in the theaters instead of just like watching it at home, right? Like it's kind of like painting, right? You want to see it in real life the way that it's intended to be seen. that's how I feel about movies. Like it's intended to be seen collectively, not alone. Like you're supposed to see it with a group of people. It's a whole ass experience.
Oh
like,
my god, dude! I just went to the fucking movies and hated it.
Wow, maybe you saw the wrong movie, man.
No, it was just I had a rough day. I got honked at really, really hard through some road rage, and it shook me up. I was like, bro, this is unreasonable. I just let the car pass me, and I was like, whatever. I'm trying to have a relaxing day. I don't want this shit. But then, like, there was someone talking on the phone in the theater, and then the sign came up for the thing.
Oh my god!
And I was like, hey, the sign's on. And then the woman was like, era Latina, and I kept speaking Spanish to her, so she knew that we were, you know, no era un gringo diciendo mierda, and she starts saying, well, you're not allowed to like have your phone out either, because I was playing Sudoku while I was waiting. And then I was like, yeah, it was already in my pocket. And I was like, yeah, that's why it's here. So then the movie starts, whatever, it's done. And I start choking on beer. And she goes, shh.
Oh no.
And I go, no seas payasa. And then that was the end of it.
Wait, what movie was it?
Superman.
Was it good?
I liked it, but I'm a fucking nerd.
Oh.
That's the caveat. I mean, there's some interesting stuff in it that kind of references Gaza, which I hadn't seen in a movie before.
Yeah.
Apparently it upsets some people. I probably people I don't agree with, but you know, it's a silly movie.
Yeah.
There's really one part that I had a problem with, which is just like some of the action's a little too CGI heavy. It reminded me a little bit of Man of Steel, but it's not like destruction.
Yeah.
But other like some of the CGI took me out. Like there's one part where he's flying and it was just like you're kind of losing me. And then they kind of but the characters are good. Anyway, this is not about fucking my reviews for
no.
But go ahead.
No, one thing I'll say is that's one of the things I miss living on the west side is that all like a lot of the indie theaters were out there.
Yeah.
So like I would go to the New Art a lot, the Lemley, like in Santa Monica, like by the Blick, and then the other one that's closer to the beach.
Yeah. I saw Rubber at one of those that's like near the 405. Did you see that movie?
No.
Never mind.
No. I mean that's kind of like once upon a time I wanted to be a film critic too.
Oh really?
So I was just like going to hella movies, like Cinephile that's like at the corner of where the New Art Theater is. Like I'd always be renting movies there too, like just like going like watching 3 or 4 movies by a certain director, like let me see what they're all about, try to like write about like this was before Letterboxd. I was just like writing reviews and stuff, you know, like I was going to Santa Monica College. I was trying to go in the program to get a degree in like film theory, but then me getting the math class and like passing the math class, I was like, all right, I can't spend another like million years in community college. Like I need to get the show going. Like I need to go to Cal State Long Beach. But I still love movies, but not like that. Not to pursue it like that, you know. That
happened to me with stand-up comedy. I did it 4 times, and the 4th time I bombed really bad, and I had a come to Jesus moment where I was like, I spent so long learning how to be an artist.
Oh.
Now I'm going to spend another 10 years learning how to be a comic. Fuck all this.
Yeah.
And that's what got me. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to be creative, and I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
But I get that.
Yeah, at a certain point you just got to be like, no, like my attention is more deserving to like be where I want it to be. Like this is like I was passionate about it, but like after a while I was like, all right, no, I want to do the art thing.
Can I say something? I know you're 3rd generation, but you're Latina as fuck. Like just the vibe. Did you grow up Catholic or anything like that?
No, like I'm
trying to find what the Latina-ness is because
I'm fucking brown. No, I'm just kidding.
But I know some white Latinas that are just as like it's. I think that what I'm getting at is the and I'm gonna ask you a charged question.
Okay.
How do white Protestant ladies respond to you?
I don't know, honestly. I don't really like.
You don't interact with them at all?
I don't really interact with them.
Okay.
I mean, my family kind of grew up somewhat religious. They weren't really going to church like every Sunday.
No, but I just mean culturally, I feel like there's like something more expressive, more Roman about Latinos, where we're, like the way that you're so expressive, the way that you talk, the way like I could see someone calling you a feisty Latina, but I'm like, no, that she's just a person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, because I grew up, like, all my sisters are like you, you know, or every Cuban woman that I know, like, I has the same energy, that the fluidness of talking. Like, it's almost like you do speak Spanish pretty fluidly. You speak English like you speak Spanish. Like,
yeah,
like it's Spanish.
I don't know what was in the air when I was born, you know, but like, I think because I've always been outspoken in a way.
Yeah.
You know, like I've just always, like when I was little, I was a little bit more shy and reserved. But
I think that's one of the things.
Once I got into like high school, like I was just like, all right, well, like I'm just going to say what's on my mind, whether it gets me in trouble or not. You know, like I'd rather say something than not say anything at all.
Yeah.
And it kind of has gotten me in trouble a couple of times. Of
No, it
just,
gets
like,
me in trouble all the time too.
Outspoken or just saying things that are out of pocket sometimes. But like,
or just being,
I don't know,
being sincere and having, you know, like calling things out. I think that there's a lot. I think that there is a thing that happens in cultures that I am not party to, like specifically white ladies, that there's a lot about restricting.
Yeah.
And about saying the right thing and saying things that are proper. And I don't feel comfortable with that. I feel comfortable with you, you know, because I know what you think, you know. Does that make sense to you?
I mean,
I'm kind of bringing out my own gripes here and asking you. Like,
I'm kind of the outlier in my family too, because they're like, not that like we've had a terrible relationship, but I've always been outspoken in a way where it's gotten me in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm expected to be a certain way and I'm doing the opposite, or like I'm doing something the opposite of what they asked me, you know? So it's kind of always been there. So I feel like I'm just an outlier in my family in that regard of like being this way. And I can't turn it off, you know, it's just how I am. So I don't know exactly where it comes from.
So your siblings aren't like as outspoken?
They are, you know, they have their own personalities and stuff, but like it's just
you're the louder one.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
You could be Cuban.
that's just how the cookie crumbles, you know.
I think if you came to Miami and you hung out with my crew or like people that I know out there, like no one would know.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty chill. That sounds pretty fun. Yeah, live it up, you know.
Yeah. Unless, you know, as long as you don't say anything nice about Castro, then people might be like, wait, what?
No. I just, you know, I have my certain political ideologies, but the one thing is that I will not be judgmental of other people unless they're being like super fucked up to me or other people. Then I'm gonna try to meet people where they're at too. Like, I don't think I was like that when I was younger. I was always trying to be all fucking confidential and shit.
You get tired.
It's like I can't fight everything, you know, like I'm not, that's just exhausting after a while and it's not worth it, right? To like pick and choose your battles kind of deal, you know? So I would say when I was younger, I was a little bit more confrontational, but as I got older, it's like, all right, like, first of all, like, there is no mass movement in the US. There is no like united political left. Like this fucking like
it's been destroyed.
Ideological puritanism is not getting us anywhere. Like we have to meet people where they're at and we have to understand like, all right, how are we all going to come together, because we're fucking losing right now. Like we're losing and it's not good the way things are going right now, you know. So I've tried to really like, all right, how am I going to really listen to people, like see where they're coming from, like even if they have a different political ideology or background than me, what are their concerns, right? Like what worries them, you know, like stuff like that. I wish I was more like involved, but I just like, I get involved and then I just get fucking like burnt out or like it's just too much. So I don't know, but we got to be in this for the long haul. What? It's not even year one and this shit's all like going all crazy, dude.
No,
like,
it's
kind of trips me out.
I mean, it's been going in this direction
for a while, but it's just like accelerated, you know, like
they either side, you know, some people, one side wants to like accelerate in one direction and the other side, but they all both want censorship. It's just so crazy. Yeah. If you know, like once we're past the, like we're in a situation where you have to choose between pedophiles and genociders, you know, like that two categories of people that both are in the same
well,
party.
they're both offering nothing.
Yeah, no,
they're both offering a whole lot of nothing. One
not
is
even that,
easy
they're
peasy
compromised.
answer.
Yeah.
Well, they're compromised, but like during the election cycles, like one was offering like, hey, I could fix this easy peasy lemon squeezy, like it's not even hard at all, right? Which is obviously like a big lie. And the other side was offering just fucking nothing, just like join the movement. Like what fucking movement?
It was an identity brand, but anyway, I don't want to get too far into that that spot, especially because your work's not about that. But I don't know. Hanging out with you has made me feel like I was at home in that way of like have you ever been called combative?
I don't know if that word was used, but maybe. I don't know. Like,
I just think it's such an interesting thing how a cultural thing such as just embodying yourself, right? Like you're embodying your cultural heritage, right? Yeah. Essentially, you say what you think to people, like even within families, you tell people you love them. I know people whose parents have never told them they love them. Dude. And so for me, that kind of repression and it kind of goes back to that conversation of like the snooty white LA that sits on top of this like really vibrant, sincere, genuine people talking about their pain, people talking about their suffering, people talking about how they've been wronged, whereas like in the, let's just call it the Hollywood music industry realm, like all of that shit is kind of like, don't talk about Gaza. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. You can't make people look bad. Kind of that thing is like, it was something intangible. By the way, we've been talking for like an hour and 12 minutes. We're but that goes to the point. Like I've just had such a good time talking to you, and in the end, I wanted to get a little spicy and figure out what it is that makes us like that. What cultural elements. And I think Catholicism, my theory is that Catholicism kind of gives you this setup where like, fuck, I'm already a sinner. Like, I don't know if you feel that, like the guilt at all. I feel like you can be... At
times, like residual Catholic guilt, because my grandparents, like they were Catholic, like when they came here to the U.S. And I don't know at what point they switched to being like Christian and going to a different church. So I don't know, maybe that shit is still in there deep in my like brain or something. But yeah, there's times, and I think maybe that's why art is such a vessel for me too, because it's not always encouraged to be super expressive or super emotional, or I feel depressed, or I feel anxious or whatever, because a lot of the times it's like, well then just think positive. Then just do this and that. And it's like, no, it's not as simple as that, we have to do things to kind of like deal with our emotions or deal how we feel about things. But I think that's why art is so important, because it's a vessel of expression and a way to channel whatever is going on in your mind, whatever is good, bad, the good, bad, and ugly, how you could funnel it out through art and make something of it and kind of release it in a way too, which is why I mentioned like at the beginning of like, it's always been a vessel of expression for me, right? It didn't matter that I didn't know how to draw technically yet, or I wasn't technically skilled. Like that was never the point for me. The point was, how do I use this as a expression, like as a way for me to like get out whatever is, fucking me up in my mind on paper. How do I deal with it? How do I release it? And so art is important in that way for me, of all right, all these things that I've been taught to suppress or not talk about or not be comfortable expressing, like I'm gonna express it in the artwork. I'm gonna draw it out, or I'm gonna, even if it's explicit or not, or subtle or not, like it comes out somehow. Like I know what this image means, maybe not other people, but like I know what a certain image means in terms of like where I was at in my life, what I was dealing with, like who I was with, or whatever it may be. Like that's why I like to take snapshots of the mundane, right? Because it looks very still, but my life was very chaotic at a certain time, and it's just like a still life of stuff like on a chair or whatever, like
that's a moment you got to be still.
So that's what I like about art. And maybe I don't know if that has to do with like how I am in real life too, like personality wise, but it definitely comes out in art that way of like, all right, these things that we culturally maybe shy away from, like what's a way for me to, circumvent that and express it in a different way.
Yeah. I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying about how you don't have to make political art because whatever art you make is from a woman of color, a Latina woman, like that you are your essence. But I also think it's interesting, and like not to like, this is like not an agenda thing, but through the conversation, I'm realizing like how repressed, how unrestricted women of a stereotypically and I'm not erasing the machismo in Latin American cultures, but I would say that the way machismo shows up versus the way the white patriarchy shows up in the women of the culture is very interesting, right? Like, because there is machismo, that's fucking for sure, but by how it exists, all of the Latinas that I know have that ability to just express themselves in a way that's not restricted, and I don't find that is the case with white Anglo-Saxon Protestant women. I find that is also the case with white Catholic men. I don't know too many white Catholic women, but one of my best friends in Miami is a Catholic, and bro, the guilt. There's stories I could tell you where I'm like, oh my god, you got fucked by being a Catholic, because you would be so much better, like, the sinner. I don't know, any thoughts on that?
I don't know, I think it's just society is really rigid sometimes when it comes to all women. Like, yeah, true, there are some specificities depending on like race and like ethnicity and stuff, but we are taught from a very early age to be aware of ourselves, to be aware of how we are presented to the world, how people see us. And it's not always encouraged to break out of that, right? Because if you do, you get the consequences of it, like. So every time, like, I'm either loud or whatever, like, I see it as a little protest. Like,
fuck yeah.
Let my hair fucking, the hair on my legs grow.
Maybe that's where it comes from.
Armpit hair grow.
Maybe the machismo is what causes Latino women to be so, because, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just because, like, I always thought as a little protest. Because they would get on me, like, right now, okay, like, I gave in to the patriarchy. I shaved my legs, like, 3 days ago. But I usually have hairy legs. I usually have hairy armpit. Like, right now, like, I don't like to wear really a lot of makeup. Like, my eyeliner, I guess, but, like, nothing too crazy. Like, or dressing a certain way, right? Like, all
I like that jacket, by the way.
It was a hand-me-down by Biddy. Shout out Biddy Tran.
You know Biddy?
Yeah.
I used to know her like way back.
What the fuck?
I knew her around 2003. I haven't seen her in ages. Her and Dave Jones.
She was my former professor at Cal State Long Beach. I knew her brother Kang through another friend.
Yeah.
It was all like a small world. She's in Chicago now. I visited her last year.
Is she still with Dave?
He unfortunately passed away.
Oh, I did not know that.
Rest in peace, Dave.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but she's continuing to live her life. She's teaching at Columbia in Chicago.
Cool.
So it was very fun visiting her last year. Like, stayed with her. We walked around a bunch. Like, went to the museum out there. Saw the bean. Like, it was really fun. Like, to kick it with her because I hadn't seen her in a long time. Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about because I was like tripping out on like how
we were talking about misogyny and.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So everything I'm telling you is just like I always saw it as a little protest.
Yeah.
Of like being like the opposite of whatever people expect me to be.
I'm with you.
Yeah, the jacket that's where I got it. Biddy gave it to me before she left. But yeah, and I've gotten in trouble for it too. Like they've given me shit for like, why don't you?
But I'm with you on the protest thing. When I do feel the same way, just like protesting white spaces. Cubans have a reputation for being loud as well. Even among Latinos, we're known to be among the loudest. And I think it's kind of a bit bigoted when people expect me not to be myself, not to be that way. And that's why, like, that's why when it comes up, I'm like, oh, okay, let's explore that.
Yeah.
You want me to be quiet?
Say no more.
As my voice gets louder.
Yeah. No. My favorite little protest that I ever did was when I lived on the west side. There's a, Erewhon. There was an Erewhon over there, like near Abbott Kinney. And I looked on the website and I was like, oh yeah, I could use my food stamps there. Because I had like the EBT card and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to make all these bitches uncomfortable by using my fucking EBT card. Because it's just like, I could shop here too. I may not be wasting my $20 on the little shake or whatever, but I'm going to get myself a fancy ass salad, a really good kombucha, like little lunch and eat it in the parking lot. And people were just kind of like, like I could tell that they were looking at me, and it's just like, good, I want to make you guys uncomfortable because I'm just as entitled to shop here as you guys are, like.
No, 100%. Yeah, no, I think you said it really well. The protest side of like, don't shut me up. Don't shut me the fuck up. Don't talk to me like that. Like, I'm not, whatever bullshit way you guys talk to each other, I'm not going to conform.
Yeah.
That is white supremacy.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, oh, okay, golly gee, guys.
Yeah, like code switching or something. That's why I talk the way that I talk too. But all of this, they're not like, it's not like they're, showstoppers. Like it's gonna change everything, but they're just little. Make you feel good. Just little things. It
empowers you.
That I feel like could do that. Like, all right, well, these people can't tell me or dictate like how I'm supposed to be in such and such way or whatever. But yeah, I'll never forget using the food stamp at fucking Erewhon, dude. That shit was so fucking
just
funny.
Staring people down. Yeah, no. Like, that's like when people are giving you that judgmental look and you just look at them like, yeah.
Yeah, I got a vegan Caesar salad and what? Like, that's what this shit is for, to buy healthy food. Like, the fuck?
Well, no, stick to your food, desert lady.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was good times.
I find your, let's call it spicy Latina-ness, even though I don't believe in that terminology, as I've already said.
Spicy Latina, dude.
Yeah, but I that's the stereotype, right? Like for guys, the Latino stereotype is like flirt to the bordering on. Like I've had so many guys friends accuse me, like white friends accuse me of hitting on their girlfriend, and I'm like, no, dude. But like, so I'm not even flirting. I'm just being friendly. Like I'm not even that much of a flirt,
Yeah.
But if you make someone laugh, I guess that's a bad thing.
Yeah, anyway. That's what I try to do. I try to make people laugh. Sometimes I always land, but you know what?
Anyway, I haven't had such a lovely conversation where I swear to God you speak Spanish, even though you're the third generation. You say you don't. You are so Latina.
I speak some Spanish, enough to get by.
But you are so Latina. It has made me feel at home in my own house.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I think I think that is why the different communities, like, we'll give each other shit. I know that in LA maybe there was like gang beefs between like you know El Salvadorans and whatnot. So it's not always the case, but most of the time when Latinos run into each other, you're like, oh man, we can be ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't have to hide it.
It's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. No one's here to police our tone.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that was really nice. I wonder how many white listeners have been cringing during this.
I don't know. Like man, this little girl needs to.
Both of these people are out of line. Come on, bro.
She needs to tone it down. Yeah,
tone it down. Yeah, tone policing. Tone policing is a problem on the non-Trump side.
Yeah. Good.
But anyway, I guess we should wrap up. Anything that I haven't, we're at 124.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, we've been going. We could keep going, but I don't want to make you work anymore.
Sorry, man.
At this point, I'm exploiting your labor.
And no, I could talk forever, dude. Like,
I know. I could talk to you forever. But, at this point, we're only going to get into the more juicy stuff, and probably we should do that off camera.
Yeah.
Anything that I haven't asked you that you want to add? You know, maybe something that you thought of coming ahead of time. It's okay if you don't. I just want to give you the opportunity to get something out if you had it in, like, oh, I didn't say this.
Nothing, man. I'm just proud to be representing commerce. I'm proud to be representing like East LA. Like I said, I'm born and raised. Like I'm very proud to be from here. Is
this neighborhood considered East LA?
It's like Northeast LA, like Lincoln Heights area. But that's another thing. Like LA, to me at least, people are very prideful of like the neighborhoods that they're from. And Commerce does not get a lot of rep just because it's so tiny. So I just want to shout out Commerce, you know? Like, I know that people just think it's a Citadel, like, off the freeway, but it's so much more, you know?
Oh, that Citadel is that's where Commerce is?
Yeah,
okay.
That's where Commerce is. So, yeah, we're so much more. There's a whole ass neighborhood there. And then, yeah, just try to take more walks where you're from. Try to take more walks in your neighborhood. That's all I could say. Get to know your neighborhood, take more walks, draw a little, take some pictures, capture the little moments that you otherwise would miss if you were in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Right now it's impossible because it's so fucking hot.
When it's a little cooler. in the nighttime. Yeah.
I literally had to, like, because I can work exclusively in this room. Like, I can do everything out of this room.
Yeah.
But I try to leave the house and stuff. And it's been so hot with the fucking AC. I've been getting cabin fever. Like,
oh yeah, dude.
I was like, oh shit, I need to leave the house, like, bad.
Yeah. Yesterday I left the house and it felt good. I was oh man, like I'm finally like not miserable.
Well, that's why I went to see Superman, and then I had such a bad experience getting honked at. Like, people are so aggro. Anyway, we'll end right there. Thank you so much. This has been great. Anything that we can promote for you?
Just
what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is _Kristen_Virgen, like Virgen de Guadalupe.
But not Catholic.
Not Catholic. It's because that's my birthday, December 12th.
No,
like, that's her day.
That's her day. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I see the connection there. Like she's the homie, I guess. Like it's weird. It's like I'm disconnected from the culture, but not really because I'm born on like this very important day, you know? So I always find that fascinating. Obviously,
I mean, it's de Guadalupe, but that's like that is such a specific Mexican, like La Virgen de Guadalupe, like that's different. I didn't grow up with that, you know, as a Cuban. That's like, that is a specific Mexican Catholic thing.
Yeah, she's an icon.
Yeah.
But yeah, just follow me on Instagram. Hit me up for studio visits.
I didn't ask you about the printmaking. I guess never mind. We've talked enough. I forgot to ask you a question, which is, what do you like about printmaking, real quick?
What do I like about printmaking?
Yeah, versus drawing.
I like the repetitive motion of it. I like that the image, yes, it is important, but it's very process based. Like drawing is like very immediate. It's recording all your moves, but printmaking is very process based. There's like so many variables in how things can come out, whether it's the ink that you're using, the surface that you're printing on, whether it's canvas, paper, packaging paper. Like I printed on packaging paper before. Like it all looks different. And I like how there's just this kind of like infinite amount of things that you could mess around with printmaking to change how the image will come out. And that's why I like working with different mediums too, because it's like, how does the source image translate into different images? What are the things that get lost and added in this process? And how does it change the image to begin with, like from, you know, point A to point B? But yeah.
What's your favorite? Are you an intaglio person?
What?
Intaglio, like what? Etching.
I like to do a lot of dry point.
What's dry point? Okay.
It's basically you're scratching in this glass, an image. You put ink on it and then you subtract the ink, and the ink like falls in the little grooves where you scratch. Oh, okay. So it's very like close to drawing in that regard, because it records all your movements, right? You're like literally drawing with this like pointed thing on the glass. But like lino is so different from that, so that's why I kind of like lino too, because it's more akin to, or at least in my mind, closer to hand stitching, in the sense that it's just a lot of repetitive movement. Like the image is already there. You just need to like, you know, just carve away essentially.
What I like about lino is that you could take a breakdancer's pad and turn it into a lino cut because it's the same material.
I did not know that. Now I know.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the conversation, like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Yeah, we got Patreon. Here's our patron scroll. Thank you to our patrons who support the show. It helps us. You get early access episodes and you get to be on the patron scroll. And we'll be back next week with another guest and another topic that may or may not be art related. Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you can tell I had fun. It was like a chisme session. All right.